How long were you together?
We were together for about 5 years, Your Honor.
Okay. And how did you two meet?
We met, jeez.
How do you not remember how you met?
No. It's just one of these situations that we kind of met twice. I didn't remember the first time and
No.
kind of crossed
Did
paths.
she remember?
I think that she did, yes. But
All right. So you dated for 5 years. Did you ever live together?
we did, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
And what caused the breakup?
There was a situation where she was actually pregnant with the baby that we were supposed to have. And she was going to give birth. And I have another son through another relationship. And what happened was he broke his arm. So I had to go drive 90 minutes to Maine to take care of
How many minutes?
90 minutes, man.
90 minutes. So it's an hour and a half away to get to, I guess, the ER where your son was because of the broken arm?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, she's pregnant at the time. How
Yes.
pregnant is she?
Well, she was pretty close, about a week away. The whole situation was I actually asked her if I could go to see my son in Maine. So
What'd you say?
He wasn't asking, Your Honor. He was half out the door already, just deciding that he was going. I said he could go, but he wasn't.
How would you say he could go?
He wasn't asking for permission.
I don't really care. Seriously, like, you can't be yourself with the guy who you're bringing a life into the earth with. Like, you can't say, where do you think you're going?
Unfortunately, no. Oftentimes,
I would no sooner let my man leave me 1 week from my due date, which is not set in stone, okay? Because you could have a baby any second. I would never let him leave over a broken arm. No disrespect to your son intended, but a broken arm is not like a catastrophe. Anyway, go on.
So she's never been really that nice to my son to begin with. So I think it was a little bit of animosity for the reason why I don't know.
Well, why even ask her? And apparently she said yes. So go on. You go, and then what happens?
So I go there and she goes into labor early. The water broke. I had no idea because I was tending to my son. And
You're not tending to your son. The doctors are tending to your son.
no, at this point he's in his room and I'm sitting beside him.
Okay.
So I took my jacket off.
And how old's your son?
He's 7.
Okay.
So
why weren't you getting all the phone calls from her and her father telling you the baby's coming?
what I was saying was I took my jacket off and the phone was in the jacket. So I had
You weren't even checking on your wife who, I'm sorry, you weren't even checking on your girlfriend who was about to have a baby to see how she's feeling and
was
everything?
just kind of caught up in the moment with my other.
With the arm? So you're not checking your phone. Everything will be okay. And then when? When do you check your phone?
I realized I didn't have the phone in my pocket.
Much later.
Probably about 40, 50 minutes.
Okay, then you look at your phone and what?
There was a bunch of phone calls on it that
But how long had you not been looking at your phone? In other words, the phone calls had started how long earlier?
probably about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you then return the calls, and I presume that you get in the car right.
Actually, when I looked at the phone, her father was calling me at that moment.
Okay. So
I answered the phone, spoke to the father. He had he wasn't very nice to me over the phone, obviously.
Yeah, because he's doing your job.
Yeah,
Hey, you called your dad, I take it.
Well, no time I did something.
Ma'am, you called your dad, and then so you come back, and by the time you get back, the baby's already born.
Yeah, the water broke. That's what the call that I got. Went back. The water broke. She'd already given birth. So
That was really fast, though.
yeah, it's like within probably like a couple hours. I mean, it was.
Is that your first delivery?
it was a rare case. Yeah, very irregular.
Guys, I hope you don't mind me taking notes throughout the video because I'm watching with you and I'm taking notes of different things that I noticed about defendant and the plaintiff and the judge. So I won't forget to bring it up later in our little discussion. Regarding this particular case, guys, 1 hour delivery is pretty fast for a first-time mom. Usually labor lasts, I would say, close to 20, sometimes even more hours. And it's the most painful, it's the scariest part, and it lasts forever for, I would say, most of us. But there are those rare cases that it does happen fast. And the truth is that unless you are in that situation, unless the labor has started, there is really no way of knowing how fast it's going to progress. Sometimes even if the labor is going already, you're in labor, the nurses, they cannot predict how fast it's going to go, and they're sometimes surprised themselves. I remember when I went into labor with my first son, we were in California and my doctor is here in Nevada. We were actually contemplating driving to Las Vegas all the way from Orange County, which is 5-hour drive. And I was on the phone with my doctor. I'm like, it's the first delivery, maybe I'll be able to make it. I just want to become, he said, absolutely not. Stay where you are. There are hospitals out there. Just go check in. You'll be fine. And well, that's what I did. Because of how fast the labor progressed, I don't see his fault in not being there because no one could foresee that. Back into the courtroom.
But anyway, so now tell me from your perspective, your water breaks, you call him, he doesn't answer. How long are you calling him? He says he was incommunicado for an hour or
It felt longer than that. I mean, I was calling him immediately when my water broke. My dad starts calling him as quick as he takes me to the hospital. We're not getting hold of him. He's not connected to us. He's incommunicative. And it was in that time in the hospital when I gave birth to our daughter that I realized all of the times that he had really not shown up for me during my pregnancy.
Like what? Put your hand down. Like what?
Missing the Lamaze classes that we had planned on going to, of our classes, 3 different classes that we had planned on going to together. And whatever his excuse was, it wasn't good enough.
So wait, I'm just to understand. So you had a lot more than 3 Lamaze classes. Did he go to the other ones?
I went to the other ones on my own.
Did he ever go to a Lamaze class?
He never went.
Oh, not once?
Not once.
Okay.
But those 3 were the ones we had decided we would go on together. We had gotten books for parenting that he had told me he would read. He never read them. We had several big doctor appointments that he missed. And every time, to my own detriment, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I didn't speak up like I should have, but it was when I had birth to my daughter that it all dawned on me. I have been making excuses for this man who is unreliable, untrustworthy, disrespectful, and doesn't show up for me or our daughter. And I can't, bringing this daughter into the world, there's no way I can now be alongside this man who
Well,
is...
you could choose not to be alongside him, but your daughter is his daughter, I take it. And-
Absolutely.
Right. So he's still going to be in her life and in your life.
Absolutely. But deciding whether I wanted to merge a life
right.
with this person...
That's up to you. That's your decision. So that's what made you say, I'm done.
Absolutely.
And you didn't even let him see the baby at the hospital.
No, I was a mess after giving birth. I mean, I was so shaken up. I felt like I had been abandoned, like he hadn't prioritized me. He hadn't.
Right. So this lawsuit is about the engagement ring.
Yes.
And he would like you to return it because according to you, it's a family heirloom.
It is a family.
Where did this ring come from?
Well, my grandfather gave it to my grandmother, and I gave it to her because I thought I was going to be with her forever. So we're not together anymore. She doesn't want anything to do with me. And why should she have the ring? I don't.
She dumped you, right?
Yeah.
There's no question that you dumped him.
No.
All right. And why won't you return the ring? Tell me.
Well, case in point, it's his fault that we're not together anymore. He has shown time and time again that what that ring signified, commitment, love, loyalty, trust, respect, he has not followed through on at all. And it all came to a head when he missed the birth of my daughter. So it's his fault. There's no reason I would give that ring back.
Is that the ring?
Yes.
Can I see it?
Something tells me the ring's gonna be returned to his rightful owner. Something I want to talk to you guys about. Did you notice the animosity and judgment coming from the judge herself towards the guy? I honestly, with all my heart, want to go ahead and defend him. He's a guy. That's what guys do. They sometimes don't show up for Lamaze classes and they don't read any literature on how to care for the babies. It's sorry, but kind of on you as a woman. However, my husband showed up for almost every single doctor's appointment, especially for important screenings, unless he was out of town on business. That was one time when he could not be there, but other times he was there. He had all these questions for the doctor. He was preparing himself in that way. But reading classes, I remember with the first baby, we actually went to a doula who was doing a private class for us on just basic routines with the baby, how to feed the baby, how to burp the baby, how to swaddle the baby, how to change diapers, and all those rules kind of one by one in a very intimate surroundings that we were able to get that information from. But I never signed up for any classes because I knew it's going to be such inconvenience for him. He wanted it to be condensed in one small fire session that we just go through everything at once and then the baby comes. They've been together for 5 years. When they started dating, doing my math, the son was 2 years of age. And I cannot help myself but notice that she doesn't have any warmth towards the other child. I feel like for her, he's more like a nuisance, a burden, something on the side that he had before her, and she's way more important than his previous child, and her new daughter is also way more important than the other child. So I don't understand why she keeps excluding him as if he doesn't matter, but he absolutely does. The man that she picked is a father to a 7-year-old boy who hurt himself and who needed him, who was probably scared and crying and wanted his daddy to be there and hold his hand. And she said, yes, you can go. It's exactly what he did. No one could anticipate how fast her labor progressed. He did nothing wrong, sorry to say, but that child needed his dad too. Let's go back into the courtroom.
That's very pretty.
It doesn't belong to her, Your Honor.
Well, let me explain the law in your state. Every state has different laws about what happens to an engagement ring when people break up. The better rule is what most states have, which is it's a gift in contemplation of marriage. If the marriage doesn't happen for whatever reason, it goes back to the giver, okay? Your state of Massachusetts, the great state of Massachusetts, has what I perceive to be the worst idea, which is judges have to, and there's a couple of states that do this, judges have to listen to what happened and decide if there is fault in the breakup, okay? If you break up with him and it's not worth breaking up over, then you have to give the ring back. If you break up with him and it is worth breaking up, which is ridiculous. How am I going to decide something like that? It's so crazy. And yet here I am. So I have to decide if when you broke up, there was something that he did that was so bad that it's his fault that you broke up, versus that you finally got clarity and realized that maybe he's not the guy for you. Because in fairness, you told him he could go ahead and go. And I don't blame you necessarily for throwing away a life you thought you wanted with him, even though there's a baby involved, because you're free and American and you can, by golly, decide how you want to spend your life, for goodness sake. But the question is, what did he do? It's not like you caught him cheating. What he did was ask, can I go? My kid broke his arm. You're not due for a week. And both of you made a very bad decision, which is, yeah, go. So is this breakup then something that's so his fault that you don't have to return an heirloom ring? That is the legal question in front of me. And I'm sorry, but I find that, you know, he definitely should have been there in the birth. We're not talking about that. He should have been there in Lamaze classes. We're not talking about that. See, the thing is, I didn't pick him. You did. You see, you decided to bring a child into it. You knew him darn well during all those Lamaze classes, during all that. There's nothing totally different other than the veil was lifted from your blinded eyes. And so, which is good for you, but does that mean that there is a thing he did that caused the breakup that was so bad that it's his fault that you don't return an heirloom ring? And I am not finding that. I am finding in favor of the plaintiff in this case. I wish you both great luck.
Of course, she has no business in keeping this ring. And to be honest with you, I feel she lost a great man, a man who cares for his son, who doesn't give up on him, even if he has new relationship and a new baby already. He's there for him. And that's exactly what she failed to see, that he's a devoted father. He will be there no matter what if you need him. And she's jealous of a little boy who broke his arm. Now she is a single mother. She called him unreliable. She called him disrespectful, every word in the book. But to me, it's the other way around. I feel like she's being inconsiderate. She's being selfish. Fiance who is jealous of his previous relationship and his older son. What did you guys think about this case? Who do you think was in the right, the plaintiff or the defendant? Please put it in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.